What if I told you that the biggest enemy destroying your dreams is not outside of you, but inside of you? It's not your parents, your past, your education, or your job. It's something far more silent and dangerous: your habits. Every single day, the small things you do without thinking are shaping your future. They are either building the life you want or slowly killing it. Think about it. How many times have you said, "I'll start tomorrow"? How many times have you promised yourself to stop wasting time, to stop scrolling, to stop repeating the same mistakes, only to fall back into the same old cycle? The truth is this: you do not need a new life. You just need to destroy the bad habits that are stealing the one you already have. Welcome to this video, my friend. But listen carefully. This is not just another video. This might be the most important video you see this year. It is not about motivation. It is not about simple inspiration. It is about the invisible enemy inside you. An enemy that is slowly destroying your future while you do not even notice it. That enemy is not your boss, not your family, not your past. It is your habits. Yes, your habits, not your job, not your background, not your parents, not your old mistakes. The reason your life feels stuck is because of what you do every single day without thinking. Your habits are deciding your future. Some habits are quietly killing your dreams, while some are silently building your future. Let me ask you honestly, how many times have you said, "I'll start tomorrow"? Just one more time. I know it's bad, but I'll change soon. But months pass and nothing changes. You still waste time, still scroll too much, still overthink, still avoid action, still fall back into the same old cycle you promised yourself to break. You see the problem now, don't you? Not anymore. This video is the line you draw in your life. This is the moment you stop lying to yourself. This is the moment you stop playing with your potential. This is where you begin taking back control. Here is the truth. You do not need a new life. You need to destroy the bad habits that are ruining the life you already have. You are not broken. You are just trapped by your daily actions. So if you are tired of being tired, tired of seeing your potential die, tired of saying, "I will change," but never doing it, then stay with me until the end. This time, everything can truly change for you. Because today, I am not just giving you random tips, I'm giving you a roadmap, a real path to follow, a path to break your bad habits, rebuild your mind, and restart your life in a powerful new way. And yes, if you are learning English, this video will also help you. Every word is simple, every sentence is clear. So while you're fixing your habits, you are also growing your English step by step, word by word. Now, before we talk about how to break bad habits, you must understand why this is so serious. Most people think habits are small. Waking up late, watching too much TV, scrolling too much, skipping workouts. They think it's not a big deal. But here's the truth nobody tells you. Habits are not small. They are your life on repeat. Whatever you do daily becomes who you are. Bad habits don't just waste time. They also destroy discipline, confidence, energy, and hope. Every time you choose laziness over action, every time you choose distraction over focus, every time you return to something that hurts your growth, you are training your brain to give up on you, and you may not even notice it. It is not about one bad choice. It's about the identity you are building every single day with repeated actions. A person who delays once does not fail, but a person who delays daily becomes a failure without even realizing it. A person who doubts themselves once is normal, but a person who speaks negatively to themselves every day becomes their own biggest enemy. Do you see? Your life is not ruined by one day. It's ruined by what you repeat. That is why this video matters. This is not only about breaking one bad habit, it's about breaking the entire pattern that has been stealing your future. It's about reclaiming your power one decision, one choice at a time. If you want to change your life, then change what you repeat. The first step is to understand how habits work. Every habit you have, good or bad, follows a loop: trigger, Action, reward. Let's look at an example together. Say your bad habit is checking your phone too much. You think the habit starts when you pick up the phone, but no, it starts before that. It starts with the trigger. Maybe you're bored, anxious, or avoiding a difficult task. That moment of boredom or stress is the trigger that gives birth to the habit. If you do not notice that trigger, you will repeat the habit automatically like a robot. Without awareness, the cycle will never stop. Let us take another example. Say you binge on junk food at night. You think it is because of hunger, but maybe it is not hunger. Maybe it is stress. Maybe it is loneliness. Or maybe it is just your routine with Netflix. This is where change begins. Next time you feel the urge, pause for a second and ask, what am I feeling right now? Why do I want to do this? Just by asking, you stop the autopilot. You take back awareness and control. You are no longer controlled by the habit. You are watching it, questioning it. That awareness is the beginning of your power, because when you see the habit clearly, you are no longer its slave. You are free to choose again. Here is one simple action step. Keep a small journal or a note on your phone. Every time you feel the urge to do a bad habit, write down what happened before. Where were you? What were you feeling? What time was it? Do this for just 3 to 5 days, and you will clearly see the pattern. And once you see the pattern, you can break it. Because when you control the start of the habit, you control the outcome of the habit. Every time you feel the need to do a bad habit, stop for a short moment and notice what is happening. Write down what you were doing just before. Notice what you were feeling, what time it was, and where you were. Do this exercise for 3 to 5 days. Soon the pattern will become clear. When you see the trigger, you can stop the cycle before it begins. When you control the start of the habit, you also control the result. Many people think they can break a habit just by cutting it out. They promise themselves, I won't do this again. But the brain doesn't like empty space. If you only remove something, the brain fills the gap with the same habit. That is why you fall back into your old cycle again and again. It is not because you are lazy or weak. It is because you forgot to replace the old habit with something stronger and healthier. The truth is simple. If you want to kill a bad habit, you must give your brain something better. Don't just remove the poison, add the antidote. Replacement is the secret. The brain needs a new reward, not only emptiness. Let's say your bad habit is scrolling on your phone when you feel anxious. The reward of scrolling is distraction. Instead of just deleting the app, give your brain something else, like deep breathing, walking outside, or listening to calm music. By doing this, you still handle the anxiety, but in a way that builds you instead of breaking you. Another example is eating junk food when you are sad. You're not truly hungry. You are emotionally empty and searching for comfort. The reward of junk food is short relief, but it harms your health in the long run. Replace it with calling a friend, hugging your pet, writing in a journal, or drinking water and eating fruit. This comfort is real and safe. Let me tell you a true story. There was a man who struggled with alcohol for many years. Every time he felt stressed or lonely, he drank. He didn't want to, but his brain had been trained to reach for alcohol. One day, he decided to quit suddenly. He said, "I'm done." He lasted 4 days before he relapsed harder than ever. After that, he changed his strategy. Instead of only removing alcohol, he replaced it with new habits that gave relief. Every time the urge appeared, he went to the gym, took an ice-cold shower, wrote down his feelings, or drank lemon water. These actions gave his brain a reset. Slowly, the brain stopped reaching for alcohol first and started choosing healthier ways.
The cravings did not disappear quickly, but the new habits grew stronger. After 67 days, he broke free. Today, more than 5 years later, he is still clean. Why? Because he replaced his poison with strength and built new rituals. You can follow the same process. First, identify the habit and the reward it gives you. Ask yourself, what habit do I want to break? Does it give me relief, escape, comfort, or excitement? This honesty is the first step to change. Next, find a replacement that gives the same reward but without the harm. If you smoke to relax, try deep breathing. If you scroll to avoid work, go for a short walk and restart your timer. Give your brain better solutions.
Make the new habit simple. If it is too hard, you will not stick with it. For example, a 30-second meditation is easier than a 20-minute one when you are stressed. Start small, and your brain will accept it faster. Repeat the new habit every time the trigger appears. At first, the old habit will scream louder. That is normal. Don't worry. Don't fight it with hate. Just feed the new habit more often, and the old one will lose power. Imagine someone who checks Instagram every 10 minutes. At first, it feels impossible to stop. But if they replace it with writing a positive thought, drinking water, or doing 10 push-ups, slowly their brain begins to want the new choice. With time, the person no longer needs Instagram for comfort. Their brain now prefers the better reward. This is how transformation happens. You don't kill the old habit by hating it. You kill it by loving a new and better one. If you do not replace the bad with the bad will return. But when you choose something that makes you proud, that gives you real energy, the old habit dies quietly because your new life no longer needs it. Real change does not come from removing things. It comes from adding stronger things. Do not be afraid of the empty space your old habit leaves. Fill it with something better, and let your new life grow inside that space. When you feel bored or stressed, your first instinct may be to open Instagram. The reward you are chasing is a quick escape or short pleasure. Instead, try writing one positive thought, drinking water, or taking 3 slow breaths. You could also do 10 push-ups or watch a 1-minute English learning video. These things may feel small, but they are powerful because they retrain your brain to look for a better reward in a better way. This is how real change begins. You don't stop being addicted to your bad habits by hating them. You stop when you give your brain something better to love. Without replacement, the bad habit will always return again. But when you replace it with something that makes you proud, that gives you energy, or makes you feel alive again, the old habit slowly dies. Your life no longer needs it because you have already found something stronger. Now comes another secret. You can not only change your actions, you must change your identity. Most people try to fix habits by changing behavior, saying things like, "I'll stop scrolling," "I'll stop eating junk." But actions are not the root. Your habits grow from your identity, from who you believe you are. If you think, "I'm lazy, I'm addicted, I always give up," then even if you stop for a few days, you will always return again. The brain is very loyal to identity. It tries to make your actions match your beliefs, even when those beliefs hurt you.
This is why changing identity is more powerful than simply changing the small actions you do each day. Let me show you how it works. Two people want to quit smoking. Both are offered a cigarette. The first says, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." That sounds good, but the hidden message is, "I'm still a smoker."
The second person says, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." This is different. One is fighting against the habit, but the other has already changed who they are. The second one is free because their identity no longer includes smoking. This applies to everything. You can delete Instagram, throw away junk food, or start a new routine. But if you still say, "I'm not disciplined, I always fail, I'm not consistent," you will fall back again and again. Habits are not just behaviors. They are reflections of your self-image. Every time you say, "I'm lazy, I can't focus, I'm bad at English," your brain quietly replies, "Okay, let's make sure that remains true every day." It's not that you are weak, it's that your mind has been programmed by your past, by pain, by what people told you, and by what you tell yourself. But now it's time to rewrite that story in your mind. The first step is to choose who you want to become. Don't focus on what you want to stop. Ask yourself instead, what kind of person never has this habit at all? That is the key question to ask yourself. For example, if you want to stop procrastinating, don't say, "I'm trying to work harder." Instead say, "I am the kind of person who always finishes what I start." That is an identity, not just a temporary action. If you want to stop eating unhealthy food, don't say, "I'm trying to eat better." Say, "I am the kind of person who loves and respects my body." This changes the story of who you are completely. If you want to stop wasting hours on your phone, don't say, "I'm trying to cut down." Say, "I am the kind of person who values my time more than cheap dopamine." This is identity, and identity is powerful. The second step is to say your new identity out loud every single day. Even if you don't fully believe it yet, repeat it anyway. The brain begins to believe what it hears over and over again with time. Say things like, "I am consistent. I finish what I start. I control my cravings. They don't control me. I take care of my health. I use my time wisely. I'm learning English daily and improving." You're not lying to yourself when you say this. You are programming your brain to become the future version of yourself. This is not magic. It is how the brain rewires itself. It believes repetition and turns words into reality. Every day you repeat these words, your identity grows stronger. The more evidence you create with small actions, the more your brain says, "Yes, this is who I am now." Slowly, your actions match your new identity naturally and easily. The brain is always learning and changing. This is called neuroscience. Your brain rewires itself through repetition and identity. Many people say, "I want to believe I am disciplined, but I am not." Here is the secret. Action first, belief later. You don't need to fully believe at the beginning. You only need to take one small action every day that proves your new identity. Even if the action is very small, it becomes proof. And proof slowly changes your mind. If you want to stop procrastinating, do one small task immediately. It doesn't need to be big or perfect. What matters is that you collect daily evidence.
Every action tells your brain, this is who I am now. Every time you act in line with your new identity, the old habit becomes weaker. You don't need to completely change in one day. You only need to show yourself daily that you are moving forward step by step. You don't need perfection. You need consistency and honesty. Habits are not just about actions, they are about identity. The biggest transformation begins when you stop asking, how do I break this habit? And start asking, who do I want to become? Let me share a story. There was a girl who wanted to speak fluent English. But whenever she tried, she froze. She believed she was not smart, that people would laugh, and that she was not the type who could learn English.
She watched videos, tried practicing, but she failed because her self-image was broken. Then one day she decided to change her identity. Every morning she looked in the mirror and said, I am a confident speaker. I am learning. I am improving. She practiced speaking to herself for 5 minutes daily. She was not perfect, but she was consistent. After 90 days, her English improved. More importantly, she was confident, bold, and free. She changed her words, but also her identity. This is the power of identity. Don't fight old habits forever. Instead, grow into someone who no longer needs them. When you change who you believe you are, your actions follow naturally. Discipline rises, cravings shrink, and confidence becomes strong. Your old life fades away, not because you run from it, but because you outgrow it. When you grow taller than your problems, they no longer control you. You leave them behind, step by step, as you build your new identity. There is also another secret. You must rewire the reward. Your brain doesn't keep bad habits because they are powerful. It keeps them because it thinks they are rewarding. Change the reward, and you will change the way your brain reacts. Every habit lives because it gives your brain dopamine, the chemical of pleasure. Even harmful habits survive because of this. Scrolling endlessly, eating too much, or skipping workouts all release a tiny amount of dopamine. This makes the brain repeat the behavior. Your brain is not your enemy. It is only following the system you gave it. It doesn't know the difference between healthy rewards and harmful ones. It only knows that something felt good, so it should repeat it again and again. For example, when you feel sad and eat sugar, you feel better for a short time. When you feel anxious and scroll, you feel calm for a moment. When you avoid a task, you feel safe. Dopamine is released, habit repeated. That is the trap. There was a man addicted to adult content. He knew it destroyed his confidence and made him feel empty. But he couldn't stop because his brain believed it was giving him a reward every time. He tried blocking websites, throwing away his phone, and making promises to quit. Nothing worked. One day, he sat quietly, closed his eyes, and imagined his future self, confident, clean, focused, free, and full of real love and strength. Then he imagined the truth of his habit: wasted years, broken focus, lost relationships, regret, and shame. He taught his brain that this was not pleasure, but pain. He showed his mind that the reward was actually a trap in disguise. From that day forward, something changed. When the urge came, his brain no longer felt reward. Instead, it saw the pain behind the habit. Slowly, the power of the habit faded, and his new identity and discipline grew stronger every day. When you feel resistance, that is the real moment of power. That is how you kill a habit at the root.
The brain can be taught to choose better rewards if you pause and guide it carefully each time. First, catch the craving. The moment you feel the urge, stop. Take a breath and notice it. Don't act yet. Just observe and say, "This is the moment. I'm not weak. I'm awake. I'm aware." That awareness is power. Second, ask yourself, what is my brain expecting right now? Your brain is not evil. It is searching for relief. Maybe it wants comfort, distraction, safety, or love. Every habit begins as a response to an emotion deep inside. Third, visualize the real cost of the habit. Close your eyes for 10 seconds and imagine yourself 1 year later. If you keep this habit, how will you feel? You'll see lost time, regret, pain, and wasted opportunities. Your brain doesn't learn best from logic. It learns from emotion. If you feel the cost deeply, it changes you. Show yourself the pain your habit brings, and your brain will stop thinking of it as something rewarding or safe. Fourth, visualize the real reward of change. Imagine a future where you are free, strong, and focused. Picture yourself with discipline, health, and confidence. Think of how good it feels to look in the mirror with pride, not regret. Now you are not only avoiding pain, you are moving towards something beautiful. Your brain begins to say, "This is the true reward. This is what I want." That new vision will give you energy to choose better every day. Fifth, replace the quick reward with a deep reward. When the craving comes, don't reach for the phone or snack. Instead, do push-ups, drink a glass of water, write in your journal, or watch a short English learning video. Even simple actions like breathing deeply under the sun for 5 minutes can work. These small things may feel unimportant, but they give your brain new rewards. Not cheap dopamine, but real strength and peace that slowly reshape your identity. You don't keep bad habits because you are broken. You keep them because your brain is addicted to the wrong reward. The goal is not to hate the habit, but to teach your brain that it is fake comfort and real destruction. Then give your brain something better to chase. That is where rewiring begins. Your brain will slowly understand that old habits bring pain, but new actions bring strength, self-respect, and freedom. Over time, the old habits become weaker and unnecessary. There was once a girl in college. She wanted to be top of her class, but her enemy was procrastination. Every time she had a project, she delayed it. She waited until the last night, causing stress, panic, and deep regret. She hated the cycle, yet she kept repeating it. Why? Because procrastination gave her quick relief. Each time she avoided her work, her brain felt comfort for a moment. Even though the panic came later, her brain only cared about the present. One day, she changed her method. When the urge to delay came, she stood up, walked outside, and asked herself, "If I do this work now, how will I feel in 3 hours?" The answer was pride, relief, and freedom. That simple question changed everything. Slowly, she stopped running from work. She started running toward pride and control. The reward of finishing felt stronger than the reward of avoiding. She rewired her brain and, in doing so, rewired her future. The truth is, the reward is not the enemy. The habit is not the enemy. Even your brain is not the enemy. The problem is only what you taught your brain to chase, and you can retrain it starting today. Begin teaching your brain to fall in love with real rewards, growth, peace, discipline, and respect. Once your brain connects good actions with powerful rewards, the old habits will feel weak, boring, and useless. You won't miss the poison anymore. Finally, kill the excuses. Burn the backup plan, or you will never change. As long as you give yourself an excuse, you will return to bad habits again and again. Excuses are dangerous because they give permission to stay the same. Many times, habits don't survive because of addiction, but because of excuses. Each time you want to change, your brain whispers lies like, "Just this once. I deserve a break. It's not as bad as before." These lies protect your habits. But once you destroy those excuses, you take away the safety net. You force yourself to face the truth. Only then do you grow stronger. Excuses keep you comfortable for a moment, but they cost you your future completely.
People often say things like, "I'll start again next week. I'm only human," right? But these are not just harmless thoughts. These are weapons your brain uses against your future. Every excuse you make is a silent trap. Each time you say yes to an excuse, you're saying no to your dreams. Excuses feel good for a short moment. They give you relief, they allow escape, they keep you comfortable. But comfort is dangerous because it keeps you stuck. Here is the truth. Every excuse becomes a brick in the wall that traps you inside your old life. Your bad habit does not need strength to survive. It only needs your permission, and excuses give that permission every time. You say things like, "It's not that bad, tomorrow will be different. At least I'm trying." But ask yourself honestly, has any excuse ever helped you grow? Has it ever built your dream life? Has it ever moved you forward? The answer is no. Excuses never create growth. They only buy more time for you to stay the same. They sound soft and friendly, but in reality, they are lies that block your progress and protect your old habits. There is an old story of a warrior who took his army to battle on foreign land. As soon as they arrived, he gave an order that shocked everyone. He told them to burn the boats they came on. His soldiers were terrified. They asked, "How will we escape?" He answered, "We won't. We win or we die here." With no way back, the soldiers fought harder than ever because victory was the only option left for them. This is how you must approach your bad habits. As long as you leave a boat behind you, you will swim back to safety. But when you burn the boat, you fight with all your strength, and finally, you win. Your brain will always choose the easiest option unless you make the easy option painful. You must make staying the same feel like failure. That is how you train your brain to stop choosing comfort and start choosing growth. First, write down every excuse you usually make. Be completely honest. Write things like, "I'm tired. It's just one day. At least I'm trying. I'm too stressed." These are not simple words. They are the chains holding you back. Second, break the excuse with a counter-truth. For every excuse, create a weapon. Example, excuse, "I'm tired." Truth, "Everyone is tired, but champions move anyway." Excuse, "I'll do it tomorrow." Truth, "Tomorrow is a lie I keep telling myself." Excuse, "One time won't hurt." Truth, "Every one time built the person I'm trying to escape." When you prepare these truths, you're ready for battle. Each time an excuse arrives, you can answer it with a stronger truth. Third, create real consequences. Discipline dies without cost, so you must make the price of failure real. Tell a friend, "If I scroll for more than 20 minutes, I pay you $20. Or create your own punishments. For example, if you skip your routine, delete one app from your phone. If you cheat on your food plan, do 100 burpees. Pain reprograms the brain, because now doing the bad habit feels more expensive than doing the right thing. Fourth, burn the backup plan. Remove every escape route.
Block websites, unfollow distractions, give your phone to someone after 9 at night, or throw away junk food. Make your old life unreachable. No safety net. Only forward movement remains. Fifth, speak like there is no option. Your language must match your mission. Don't say, "I'm trying to quit. I hope I change. I'm working on it." Say, "I don't do that anymore. That's not who I am now."
The words you speak shape your actions. If you give yourself soft words, you will live a soft life. If you speak with power, you will walk with power. The way you talk builds the road you walk. As long as you give yourself excuses, your bad habits will always hold the key to the door. You must lock that door, burn the key, and step into the fire. Yes, it will be hard and painful. You will feel uncertain, raw, and uncomfortable, but this is the price of rebirth. The old version of you must die so the real version of you can live. No more waiting, no more trying, no more empty promises. It is time to kill the excuses, or they will kill your potential. Excuses may sound harmless, but they are silent killers of dreams. Once you remove them, your mind becomes free to grow, and your actions finally match your future. The next important lesson is to make the pain loud. The reason you haven't changed yet is because the pain of staying the same is still quieter than the pain of changing. Comfort feels easier, so you stay the same. We live in a world that teaches us to numb pain. Don't feel, don't cry, don't admit it hurts. Just scroll, eat, distract yourself, or escape. But the more you hide your pain, the stronger your bad habits become. That bad habit you can't break still lives because you haven't allowed yourself to feel its full weight. You keep saying, "It's not that bad. At least I'm not like them." But denial doesn't heal. It keeps you trapped. Everyone has their own struggles. You might tell yourself, "I'm doing okay." But the truth is, you are not okay. You are slowly drowning in silent habits that are quietly eating you alive, from the inside without you even noticing. You check your phone many times every day and wonder why your focus is broken. You sleep long hours but still wake up tired, not because of your body, but because your spirit feels heavy and completely drained from within. You eat junk food not because you love it, but because it feels easier than facing your sadness. You watch motivational videos, but cannot move because you never sat long enough with your real pain to feel truly disgusted. At some point, you must reach a place where you say, "I cannot live like this anymore." Not because someone inspired you, but because the voice deep inside your soul finally screams, "I am done living this way. Enough." That is when habits die. Not when you collect more tips, not when you set more goals, not when you say, "I'll try again." Habits truly die when the pain becomes so loud you can no longer ignore it. There was a woman in her 30s. To everyone else, she seemed okay. She worked, smiled, ate, and scrolled like everyone else. She laughed at parties, posted nice photos, replied to messages. But secretly, she hated who she was becoming. Her health was falling apart. Her energy was always gone. Her dreams were turning into dust. Her bad habits controlled every hour of her life. Yet she kept saying, "I'll change soon. I just need more motivation. It's just a phase."
One night, she walked into her bathroom and looked in the mirror. She didn't recognize the eyes staring back. There was no light, no fight, no love. Only emptiness. For the first time in years, she finally let herself feel. She sat on the floor and allowed all the hidden feelings to come out. Regret, betrayal, wasted years, pain buried under comfort. And do you know what happened? She got up. Not motivated, not inspired,
but finished with her old self. From that day on, she didn't need reminders. She didn't need more videos. She had heard the scream of her soul, and that was enough. Pain had spoken, and she had finally listened. That is when real change started for her. If you don't let yourself feel the real consequences of your habits, you will keep repeating them. You keep them alive because they feel safer than the truth. But safety is fake when it's keeping you trapped in misery and regret. Here is how to use pain to break bad habits. First, face the mirror. No filters, no excuses. Take 5 minutes alone. No phone, no music. Just silence. Ask yourself, if I continue this for 5 years, what will my life look like? Write it down in clear detail. Will you be proud of yourself? Will your family respect you? Will you be healthy? Will you be happy? Will you still have dreams left? Let the shame and guilt speak clearly to you. Second, say the words you are afraid to admit. Speak them out loud. Say, I hate that I waste my life every day. I feel weak when I give in. I'm scared I'll never become who I was meant to be. Say also, I'm tired of pretending I'm okay. These words are not weakness. They are freedom. Because truth, even when painful, sets you free. But it only works if you are brave enough to say it and truly feel it. Third, turn pain into your weapon. Take what you just felt and transform it into a law for yourself. Write one clear line. I don't scroll, I create. I don't sleep in, I rise for my mission. I don't lie anymore. Repeat it every day. Put it on your wall. Make it your new identity. Let the pain become fire that burns down the old you. Because when pain fuels you, the excuses fade, and the weak version of yourself cannot survive. Fourth, create a reminder of what is at stake. Make a pain board where you write or draw what happens if you don't change. Use a picture of your tired face. Write, 1 year from now, same regret, new excuses. Add a photo of someone you may lose if you keep ignoring your potential. Every time you want to fall back, look at that board. Let it punch your soul. Let it remind you that comfort is a trap, not a gift. Progress is pain. But pain is the doorway to freedom. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are just too comfortable. Your bad habits are not stronger than you. They are only quieter than the pain you keep avoiding. So stop numbing yourself. Stop escaping. Stop waiting until you feel ready. Let the pain scream. Let the guilt burn. Let the truth bleed. And when it does, don't run away from it. Run directly through it with courage. Because when the pain of staying the same becomes louder than the pain of changing, that is when transformation begins. That is the moment you stop only watching life pass by. That is the moment you finally become someone worth watching.
Repetition builds reality. You don't repeat bad habits because you are broken. You repeat them because you never noticed the pattern. Your bad habits are not random. Every action has a cycle, and that cycle becomes your daily reality. You don't scroll social media just because. You don't eat junk food just because. You don't procrastinate just because. You do these things because they follow a hidden pattern. And if you repeat them daily, they quietly build your life. Here's the scary truth. Anything you do again and again becomes your reality, even if it destroys you.
Most people don't change because they are unaware. They don't see the cycle. They don't notice how often they repeat the same behaviors. They do things at the same time, in the same place, after the same feelings, with the same excuses. Day after day, it becomes their identity. What they repeat shapes who they become until their habit quietly turns into their life. There was a young man, 22 years old, who wanted to become a YouTuber. He had ideas, talent, and even a good voice. But he had one enemy: mindless scrolling. He always told himself, "It's only 10 minutes, just updates." One day, someone asked him, "How much time do you waste daily?" He didn't know. So he downloaded an app tracker. The result shocked him. He was wasting over 5 hours each day on YouTube, Instagram, and random videos. That was more than 160 hours a month. That was 1,920 hours a year. That's 80 full days of life gone, lost to distractions. Not used for dreams, not used for growth, only wasted. When he saw those numbers, he broke down. Not because he was weak or ashamed, but because he was finally awake. He realized he had been blind. The truth wasn't new, it had always been there. He just never tracked it. So how do you track the pattern? First, choose the habit you want to break. It could be scrolling too much, eating junk, sleeping in, skipping workouts, or speaking negatively to yourself. Write it down clearly. Say, "This is my habit." Next, track it for 5 days. Each time the habit happens, write down the details. What time was it? Where were you? What were you feeling? What triggered it? How long did it last? How did you feel afterward? This is not about judging yourself. It's about waking up. The pattern is already there. You're just finally looking at it. After 5 days, read what you wrote. Ask yourself, is it happening at the same time or after the same emotion? Suddenly, you'll see the pattern. That's the crack in the habit. And where there's a crack, there's a chance to break it. Once you find the cycle, you are no longer blind. You now have the power to fight back. Then, build a disruption plan. If you scroll every night in bed at 10, put your phone in another room at 9:30. Replace the habit with reading, stretching, or journaling. If you always overeat after work, build a new routine instead. Prepare a short walk, a healthy snack, and 5 deep breaths. That way, when stress comes, you don't fall back into the old loop. Breaking the pattern is not about strength, it's about awareness. It's about creating space for better choices. Track your actions like a scientist. Study your habits like a detective. Break the loop like a warrior. Because your habits are not who you truly are. They are simply what you keep doing. And you can always choose differently. The moment you start tracking, you stop being controlled by your habits. You finally see the truth. Awareness is the first step to freedom. When you expose the cycle, you can break it. When you break it, you can change. But there is another truth. You must stop romanticizing your old self. That version of you must die. You cannot build a new life while protecting the version of you that ruined your last one. That old version is not your friend.
Sometimes we don't break habits because we're still in love with the old self. We say, "That's just how I am. I've always been like this. I miss who I used to be." But that is a trap. That old version stayed up late, skipped workouts, made excuses, and avoided growth. That version betrayed your potential, killed your discipline, and sold your future for small pleasures. Why protect it? Why defend the self that kept you trapped? Growth is not only about becoming someone new. It's also about letting go of the old you, the lazy version, the fearful version, the addicted version, the version that laughed at discipline and hid pain behind jokes. That version must go. Because as long as you protect your old self, you cannot step into your new self. You cannot rise higher while holding the weight of who you used to be. It's time to let go. It's time to move forward. You cannot carry your old self into the new life you want to build. If you wish to be born again, you must first say goodbye to the person you used to be. Holding on to that version keeps you trapped. There was a boy who was always the funny one. He made people laugh, stayed out late, and partied often. Everyone thought he was happy, but inside, he felt empty. He wanted more, but he kept falling back into old ways. He went back to old friends, old habits, and his old identity. Deep down, he missed that version of himself, even though it was slowly destroying him. Comfort kept pulling him back, even while his heart wanted to grow stronger. One day, the boy opened his journal and wrote only one line. "I love who I used to be, but he cannot come with me anymore." From that day, he started changing, quietly but surely, into someone new. He became quiet, focused, and consistent. At first, he felt alone, but soon he felt unstoppable. He did not just add new habits, he buried the old self that no longer deserved space in his future. That's when real change began. The first step to letting go is to write a farewell letter to your old self. Thank the past for the lessons, forgive it for the mistakes, and finally say goodbye. This makes space for the life you want to create. You could write something simple like, "Thank you for getting me this far, but I can no longer carry you. I am walking into a new life now, and there is no room for you anymore." The next step is to build a new self-image. Each morning, tell yourself who you are becoming. Say, "I am someone who wakes up early. I am strong when life is hard. I respect time. I focus on growth, not excuses." Even if you do not fully believe it yet, repeat it every day. With repetition, your mind accepts it, and slowly, your behavior begins to match. The more you say it, the more you live it. Identity shapes action. Another powerful step is to bury the old you with a symbol. Burn the pages where you wrote your old patterns. Throw away clothes or objects linked to your bad habits. Break something that represents your past. Mark the death of your old self. When you let go of the old version of yourself, you finally give birth to the new one. Many people never move forward because they keep dragging the past along. They carry yesterday into tomorrow, and that keeps them stuck.
Letting go is not something you do slowly or softly. It is not something you wait to feel ready for. You must do it like your future depends on it, because it truly does. If you delay, your life delays too. The habits you are trying to break are not just small actions. They are pieces of your old identity. Each time you repeat them, you keep that old version alive. If you want freedom, you must let that version die. There was also another boy. He kept saying he wanted discipline, success, and early mornings. But every night, he stayed up watching shows, playing games, eating junk, and scrolling on his phone. He failed not because he was weak, but because of his environment. His room was filled with memories of his old life. It was not a place for growth. It was a space where his bad habits lived. It was his prison, but he didn't see it. He kept falling into the same trap. One day, he decided to change his space. He moved his bed. He threw out his gaming chair. He packed away distractions and wrote on his wall, "This room is a place of rebirth." That one action changed everything for him. He did not suddenly become perfect, but his environment began to support his future instead of his past. His surroundings reminded him daily of who he wanted to become. That small shift gave him power to finally move forward. If you want to change your life, clean your space like you are cleaning your mind. Remove things that tempt you. Throw away items that remind you of your old self. Make your room look like your future, not your past. Surround yourself with people and things that push you forward. If you stay around the same voices, same places, and same distractions, you will never grow. Growth needs new soil, not the old one that poisoned you. Your future self is waiting, but your old self cannot come along. Say goodbye, bury it with courage, and walk into your new life. The person you are becoming is stronger, wiser, and freer than the person you left behind. Your space should look like the future you want, not the past you are leaving behind. If your room still feels like yesterday, your habits will stay the same. Change your space, and you change your daily actions too. Remove the digital traps from your phone. Unfollow accounts that waste your time. Block people who bring you down. Turn off notifications that distract you. Delete apps that feed your bad habits. Your phone must serve you, not control you. Think about the people around you. You don't need to cut everyone off, but you can limit their access to your time and energy. Spend more moments with people who are growing, and less with those who hold you back. If you don't have such people yet, start becoming that person yourself. Be disciplined, kind, and focused. Soon, you will attract people who also want to grow. Like a mirror, you receive the energy that you give to the world. Add reminders of success in your space. Keep a book near your bed. Place your journal in front of the mirror. Put your alarm far from your bed. Hang a powerful quote on the wall. Wear clothes that remind you of progress. You cannot heal in the same place that hurt you. You cannot grow in the same soil that poisoned you. You cannot become new while sleeping in your old life. If you want change, build a new space for change. Your environment is not just background. It is the blueprint for your life. Every object, every sound, every voice around you is pushing you either forward or backward. Build an environment that helps you, not one that silently destroys you. But more than your space, you must also remember the cost of not changing. Every time you repeat a bad habit, every time you say, "tomorrow," you are paying a price. That price is your future and everything beautiful in it. You are not just hurting yourself today. You are hurting your future self, your health, your dreams, your parents who believe in you, your child who will learn from you, and your partner who deserves the best version of you.
There was a man who dreamed of being a coach, a writer, a speaker. Since 18, he kept saying, "Next year I'll start. I need more time. I'm not ready yet." But the years passed, and he never began. At 43, he looked into the mirror. He was overweight, tired, and drained. His dream was alive, but his time was gone. With tears, he whispered, "I waited so long to live that now I am only surviving." He cried not because he failed, but because he never started. This is the true cost of delay. It is not failure that kills most dreams, but waiting. Every year of waiting is another year of life lost forever. So ask yourself, what will happen to your dream if you don't change? What will your health look like in 10 years? What kind of example will you give to your kids? What regrets will you carry when your time ends? Who could you have helped if you had become your best self? What love are you losing by not loving yourself first? What kind of life are you rejecting just to protect a habit you know is destroying you slowly every day? Who will remember you, and for what reason? What would the 10-year-old version of you say about your choices? Are you proud of how you spent this week? If these questions hurt, that is good. It means you are finally awake. You may think your habit is small. You may think one more day doesn't matter. But that is how life disappears, one small compromise at a time. That is how dreams die, by saying tomorrow until tomorrow never comes. So today, don't just break a habit, break the excuses, break the silence, break the old pattern that holds you down. Your bad habit is not only costing comfort, it is costing your entire life, and you cannot afford that anymore. Listen carefully. You are not broken. You are not lazy. You are not too far gone. You are simply human. You fell into patterns. You repeated cycles. But today, you know the truth, and truth gives you the power to act. You don't need to wait for the perfect time. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have everything figured out. You only need to say one thing. I am ready to fight for my life starting today. Your past has no power over your future. Your habits do not own you. Your mistakes do not define you. You are not hopeless. You are stronger than you believe. You can change. You will change. This is your turning point. One day people will look at you and say, "How did they do it?" And you will smile, remembering this moment. The moment you said, "I am done wasting life. I am done being my old self. I am free." From today, every small win builds the strongest version of you. Every step forward proves you are becoming new. When it gets hard, and it will, remind yourself, you are not alone. You are not finished. You are just getting started. The next version of you is already waiting, and that version is worth every effort, every sacrifice, and every step forward you take.